Hello, welcome to Pursuit of Perfect System. Just over a week ago, I flew out to Germany with Chris Green, who is Managing Director of Sound Foundations. And Sound Foundations are a UK distributor for several different very interesting and good quality hi-fi companies. And one of them is Clearaudio, the German manufacturer of turntables and other analog related hi-fi components. And there was two reasons why I flew out there. One was to do a factory tour, and that video went live yesterday or the day before, and if you haven't seen it, please go and check that one out. I put a huge amount of effort into creating kind of like a mini movie factory visit. It's really interesting. I think even if you're not into vinyl or turntables, I think you'll get something out of that video, a good couple of laughs if nothing else. And I'll link obviously the video up there. Go and check it out. That's a quality hi-fi video. But there was another reason why I went out there. I was personally interested, and certainly more interested in it after, to find out about Clearaudio's new Concept Active Turntable, because it was a really interesting concept to me, because the Concept Turntable has been out for a number of years from Clearaudio. It's won a lot of awards as being kind of like the best budget priced-ish turntable you can buy. I think it was around £1,000. I think it's just north of £1,000 now. But after seeing them in the flesh, seeing them being manufactured, seeing how much attention to detail goes into creating that turntable, the tone arm, the cartridges, you can see why it's won the awards and it justifies the price tag. But the Concept Active is taking the whole turntable idea one stage further. The Concept Active has an integrated phono stage in it and an integrated headphone amplifier. And you might say, well, there's turntables out there with integrated phono stages in them. Funnily enough, there's one up there on the wall. But this particular one, the Concept Active, is really Clearaudio's attempt at making a high performance but still affordable turntable with a phono stage built in. The headphone amplifier aspect is really very interesting. It just means that you can go straight from vinyl straight to a pair of headphones, like some of the really good ones there behind me. And I think that'd just be a really cool and sexy thing to do. Stick a vinyl on and go straight into a pair of headphones and just kick back and have a listen to that kind of, analog chain. Now, the bit that got me most or more interested and excited about this product was when I got to meet Marco Borowicz, who is part of the engineering or the R&D engineering team. And he's a really cracking guy, really interested. And I had a really good chat with him, funnily enough, off camera before the next part of this video you're about to see. And he was just telling me about what his thought processes are, what he's thinking, what they've tried to do with the Concept Active. And I thought it was such an interesting conversation to have with someone like that. I asked him to come on camera with me and do a bit of an interview so he could tell you really exactly the stuff that he was telling me. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to stop talking there. The next part of this video will be the interview with Marco. So I hope you enjoy that. And make sure you go and check out that factory visit, because I'm really proud of that video. And yeah, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button for this video if you enjoy it, and I'll be back with lots more really good stuff coming soon. So thanks for watching. So one of the main reasons why I've come out to Germany to see Clearaudio is to find out more about this new turntable, which is kind of new in production and new up for sale. And I'm here with Marco Borowicz, who is R&D for Clearaudio. So it's a real privilege and a real pleasure to speak to you. So thank you very much. I really appreciate it. So the Concept Turntable, even for someone like me who's not big in turntables, I know this product's been around for a long time. It's won loads of awards, and it's a really great buy at its price point, a really great performing product at its price point. So it's interesting to see that you as a company have tried to develop it and take it forward. So what does the active part stand for, and what have you done with this turntable to improve it or add extra features to it?
Alright, so as the young generations always search for compact audio systems at home,
okay,
we saw an opportunity to integrate the phono stage and the turntable into a single unit.
Okay.
So the basic idea behind the product was to have an entry-level product for young customers, to get them into turntable audio, and they buy a complete unit with the phono stage integrated in one unit. And basically what you need is a pair of active speakers, and that's it. You have a fully functional audio system at home.
Okay. So really then this is a turntable with a built-in phono stage?
Yeah, so we integrated the complete phono stage into the turntable with also the headphone amplifier output and line output.
So talk to me a little bit more about that, because I know obviously Clearaudio make lots of different products, don't they? Make phono stages and other bits and pieces, but kind of where does this sit performance-wise, and what technology has it got, or what was your full process for its design in terms of, I suppose, performance?
Okay, since this is the entry-level product, we wanted to give the best possible performance. And this is a little bit outside of our standard range, which is our op-amp-based circuitry. So here we use discrete components, which means we used individual transistors, JFETs, and we used resistors and other elements to create a phono circuit. So we used also passive RIA, which is also bit with capacitors, and we don't use any op-amps or any negative feedback or anything like that. So the circuit, in order to perform the best, is a single-ended Class A circuit. It's a pure Class A, no push-pull action. It's a DC coupled on the input. It provides gain for both MM and MC.
Okay, yeah.
And the output stage is basically an emitter follower driver, which is a current gain amplifier to drive headphones. So it covers a range of low ohm headphones from some 20 ohm to 200 ohm. What else to say? You have various settings here in the back. So you can choose the gain. We have 3 gain positions to cover absolutely any cartridge on the market at the moment, from low output MC to very high output MM cartridges. You have the Subsonic Filter for some sensitive systems, because the electronics is DC coupled. It goes down to sub 10 Hertz. Mm-hmm. So sometimes you need the low pass filter in order to preserve your speakers. Mm-hmm. And especially if the turntable is placed on a soft floor, when you step next to it, it can sometimes introduce heavy movement of the speaker membrane. So
basically too much bass, basically. It's like basically like kind of fake bass.
Yeah, so we just roll it off below 20 Hertz. We slowly roll it off at 6 dB per octave.
And that's a protection thing for speakers more than anything else.
Yeah, and also for warped records. When you have warped records, they can sometimes introduce this movement on the cartridge that can really push the membranes out, and it can cause some uncomfortable situations with listening.
Does that affect sound quality at all?
It should actually improve the sound quality, especially with warped records. Mm-hmm. When you have the perfectly flat record, a good stand for a turntable, you can just switch it off and use it.
Okay.
You know.
So really then that's kind of like a flexible option, so people can use their turntable in kind of non-perfect conditions.
It's just an option.
Okay. And in terms of the headphone amplifier, can you use that with any headphones? Is it capable?
Well, as I said, since we are limited, we wanted to build a turntable to be compatible with our 12 volt range. Mm-hmm. And of course we offer a 12 volt battery power supply that can power the active turntable also.
What is that called? Sorry, that is the
Smart Power 12.
That's the Smart Power 12, okay. Yeah.
So we had to keep it at 12 volt, which introduces certain limitations with design. You have to squeeze all this electronics and gain and everything and high quality circuit in only 12 volt of the power supply. So the circuit can drive only low ohm headphones up to 200 ohms.
Okay.
So the 600 ohm or 800 ohm would require a little bit different electronics.
Okay. But is there an analog out so you can feed it to another headphone amplifier? You do have
So we have option here to go pure out, which means that phono stage serves as a classic phono stage. Yep. Then you can feed the line out into a preamp and go to any other component. We can go with the gain controlled. It has a line output. It serves as a preamp. So we can control the volume here. So we have an integrated volume control.
So you could feed straight to, as you say, either active speakers or
active speakers or power amp.
Yeah.
So you can go straight to, let's say, monoblocks or whatever you want and control the volume here simply. And you have the non-gained cartridge output. In case you want to use an output, so it's called like a passive output. In case you want to use your own output phono stage, external phono stage.
Yeah. So you thought about kind of making it a flexible product.
It's extremely flexible, yeah. So you can start with a fully functional system, as I said, with the turntable and active speakers, and then you can build up buying an external phono stage, which is of course high quality, and upgrading the system with some kind of preamp or some kind of output amps, and so there is a lot of options built into this small package.
You know what? That's what I found really interesting is the fact you look at this. It's got all this in it, and yet it's not bigger, it's not thicker. It looks pretty much the same as all the other kind of concept turntables. So was that part of the design ethos to try and make it look similar, the same? Okay.
Yes, exactly. It had to fit within a certain concept range.
Yeah.
So even the power supply, when you look at the power supply, it's designed to follow these lines, this style of housing. So the thickness, the length of the power supply is equal to our concept series, and so the idea was really to squeeze everything in and keep it in the same housing.
So really, what I've taken from this whole day of being here and speaking to yourself and speaking to obviously Robert and stuff is that there's a hell of a lot of attention to detail paid, isn't there, at every stage and for every product, on top of the engineering and the manufacturing, which is all done here. So it seems like you've put that same level of attention to detail into this, which is an entry-level product. So it's very impressive.
It's an entry-level product, and it took, I can say, years to have it perfected and developed to a point where it is now.
Yeah.
We had many revisions of the product, but now it's really, let's say, complete.
So it can be an entry-level product for Clearaudio, but it doesn't mean it's an entry-level product in performance, does it really?
No, absolutely not. The circuit actually responds very good to high-quality cartridges.
Okay.
So if you connect it to, since it's a single-ended Class A circuit, these are in general considered to be very audiophilic.
Yeah.
And
desirable as well.
Yeah. So if you connect some kind of higher range cartridge in the 5,000 to 10,000 euro, you will immediately get it out. You will get the sound and you will get the performance. So we use really high quality JFETs inside, no negative feedback, polypropylene coupling capacitor, interstage and Fourier. So really, what to say? It doesn't get any better than this for this money and within this, let's say, power supply range.
Just coming away from this product for the moment and just talking to you about Clearaudio as a company, when you're designing products, what would be kind of your main goal, or what goals are you trying to achieve when you're designing products or working on products? What sonic traits are you looking for, or what attributes are you looking for?
Well, we consider that the neutral components are actually the best. So there shouldn't be any colorations or any influence of the circuit on the signal. So if the recording on a record was made bad, it should sound bad. If there is no bass, there shouldn't be any bass. You know, if it's recorded extremely good, you know, with high dynamics, with extremely good spaciousness, or it should sound like that. So the idea was to create circuits which don't color the signal, which don't influence the signal.
So, and that's what that's what in your mind.
This is the main goal. This is the main goal. Also to keep the designs pure. To use, this is only a two-stage gain.
Okay.
So use the least possible amount of components on signal path. Because once you pull the signal through any of these components, they still put a certain sonic signature on the signal. And this is irreversible. You cannot bring that back with any amount of feedback, with anything you do in the circuit.
So once it's gone, basically.
Once it's modified by pulling it through any of these components, it's modified forever.
Okay.
And this is what you hear. Yeah. So choosing the least amount of components on signal path and the purest possible topology of the circuit proved to be the best, the most natural sounding.
So, but is that harder to engineer?
Absolutely, because you're constantly making compromises and sacrifices. So in order to design a good, pure circuit, you need high voltage rails, you need, certain stuff which is difficult to achieve, especially on 12 volts. Mm-hmm. But in general, absolutely. You reach for some solutions which are not standard.
Okay.
For a phono stage to have a power supply rails of 60 or 80 volts is very unconventional.
Okay.
But if you want to design, let's say, a circuit with no negative feedback, you got to give it massive rails in order to get 1 or 2 volts out, which is extremely pure and without any distortion.
So you as a designer, as an engineer, you're trying to maybe think outside the box in order to achieve kind of like ideal scenarios elsewhere. So this is the ideal scenario. You've got to work out how you can engineer to make it like that, rather than kind of filling gaps or compromise to make it work. That's really interesting.
Plus, every circuit topology has a certain, let's say, in the end sonic signature and characteristic. As much as we try to avoid it, it is still there. So this is also an option for the customer to choose. Does he want balance? Does he want single-handed? Does he want push-pull? You know, this is something that individual should decide.
Okay.
And it's on us to offer, you know, a solution. There are many ways to the same goal, but.
Yeah, so you're trying to, you have to engineer things with different people's tastes and preferences in mind as well.
Yes, also components combined with some other elements in the system can have a different result.
Okay.
So we have to design with thought that people are going to use our components in various systems, with tube amps, with transistor amps, with op amps. You know, there are various systems and designs out there.
Yeah.
So this was also a major goal here with this product, to make it comparable and to make it work with various components out there.
That's probably, I would have thought, one of the toughest jobs, because you don't know what speakers people have got, what amplifiers, what room, and you know, and ultimately what they like as well. Really, that's quite a challenge, isn't it?
This took the most time.
Yeah.
So we spent a lot of time finishing the product, testing on the field, and then going back to the drawing board because it wouldn't work. We didn't have enough gain. We didn't have good result. I don't know.
Attention to detail, isn't it? Really.
Yes.
Yeah. What's interesting is how you describe the sound of what the company's going for, what you're going for. It's pretty much written up there, isn't it? Clearaudio. It's what you're going for. Clearaudio, isn't it? Yeah. Obviously, that seems really corny to say that, but that's the first thing that sprung into my mind. Well, look, Marco, thanks very much for coming on camera and talking about this product. To me, it's really exciting because it's kind of adding convenience, but adding convenience without sacrificing quality, which I think is a really important part. And even though that's kind of the entry point for Clearaudio, it's still manufactured here, isn't it? Still hand assembled here, exactly the same as the big boys behind us, product-wise. Exactly. So it's not, again, there's no sacrifice in quality there, is there? There's no sacrifice in engineering. Because it's still made in the factory downstairs, isn't it? So really, really impressive. So thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Cheers.
And I wish you all the best. Thank you.